Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Allah Loves. So once again, we're taking a quality that usually has negative connotations, but in this situation, it actually has some good connotations. Before I get back to the hadith that we started speaking about last week, I want to actually mention another hadith about envy, about hasad, because it's tied to jealousy, but it's not exactly the same thing. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned that there is no envy except in two situations. When you envy someone who Allah has given knowledge and they spread it, or Allah has given wealth and they spend it in Allah's cause. Why? Because you would not envy them in a way that you would want something, you would want the money for the sake of being rich, or you would want the knowledge for the sake of being praised. But you envy the good that they're able to do with what Allah has employed them with, and you don't wish them bad, but you wish that you could again build yourself up to a place where you could also do the good that they are doing and spread it, inshallah ta'ala, for a noble goal and from a noble intention. So you're not envying over this dunya, over this world, nor are you envying in a way that fits the envy of the shaitan, that fits any type of satanic envy or any type of evil intention or wishing evil for anyone else. And that speaks to your priorities of seeking the hereafter. Now, the word jealousy is a little controversial, right? Because there really is no word for ghira in the English language that really fits it. You could translate it as honor, or you could translate it as a sense of protective jealousy. And in the same hadith in Abu Dawood that I spoke about yesterday, in this hadith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, or the Prophet ﷺ mentions, that there's a type of ghira, ma yuhibbuhullah, that Allah loves, and a type of ghira that Allah hates. The type of ghira that Allah loves is the protective honor and jealousy that is based upon solid grounds. The type that He hates is that which is all based in suspicion. So let's talk about this for a moment. When you see someone being harmed, for example, and I want to talk about ghira and why it's actually important for us to have that sense of ghira. When you see someone being harmed, when you see your sister being harmed, being taken advantage of, or being harmed, there's this clip of Malcolm X, Al-Hajj Malik al-Shabazz, rahimahullah, speaking about the black woman in America and talking about how she's the most disrespected person in America. And you could see the outrage that he has about the protective nature, about how we will not allow anyone to disrespect our black women here in America. Now, if we took that same thing, I want you to think about how you feel when you see your sisters that are being offended, that are being taken advantage of, that are being assaulted anywhere in the world. If that doesn't drive a sense of outrage and honor in you, that's a problem. If you see your brothers from the Rohingya that are being racially discriminated against, or the Uyghurs, or whatever it may be, you see brothers who did nothing but lived their lives in a noble way and did not seek to harm anyone, but because they're Muslim, they're being harmed, they're being abused, their dignity is being taken away from them, and you are driven out of a sense of honor that disturbs you and it disrupts you, and you actually want to help them. You're moved by something. When you have ghira for religious symbols, for Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I'm not talking about when the Prophet ﷺ is disrespected and people take to the streets and break windows and burn tires and harm people. That's not because of love for the Prophet ﷺ. That's because of a sense of culture and disrespect and a very false sense of honor. But you should be driven to something where you feel disturbed on the inside and you want to instead uphold the image of the Prophet, peace be upon him, in a noble way that fits his noble image, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Likewise, a person should feel that ghira for their family. They should feel a sense of protection, protectiveness, honor. Men, women, a woman should be protective over her husband. A husband should be protective over his wife in a way that they would not like that person be abused or harmed. Someone might say, well, this is the language of honor killings. Absolutely not. Honor killings are of the most hated things in Islam, and that's not an honor for Allah, because it's the greatest violation of Allah that a person hurts an innocent girl or an innocent woman, or even a woman that does something wrong, girl that does something wrong in a way that is in such an atrocious manner. So no, that's not from the Sunnah, that's not from Islam. Honor killings have nothing to do with Islam, and they're motivated and driven by something other than Allah and other than the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But the honor that we have for our sisters, for our brothers, for things that are sacred is a good protective type of honor, one that causes us to act in honorable ways to uphold the honor of something or someone else. And that is something positive in our religion and something that Allah encourages in us, so that we could always have that to tap into, not to be suspicious or become abusive or to become harmful or to be driven to lowly things, but instead to uphold the nobility of noble things. And that means the sanctity of what Allah has sanctified, including the honor of people and the dignity that Allah has bestowed upon human beings, especially those that are beloved to us. So Allah loves healthy pride and protective jealousy, a great sense of honor. We ask Allah to give us those things without letting them become means of transgression, and to only keep within us that which is positive. Allahumma ameen. Jazakumullahu khairan. See you all next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.